John Lithgow has one of the most illustrious careers in Hollywood with a range of characters that frankly shows no limits.
I don't remember the serial killer one. What was it? Which one was that one? But he hasn't been actually in the director's chair in the theater in 45 years, but now he's back with his new off-Broadway show, Everything's Fine. And looky who we got in the studio today. Everybody, please welcome Mr. John Lithgow. Yes.
I didn't know we had an audience.
Yes,
you didn't tell me.
It's you. Everybody wants to come in and see. Man, it is such a pleasure to have you here.
It's wonderful to be here.
45 years since the directing. What's
Yeah.
it like to be back in that role?
Well, it's much harder work.
Yeah.
I see why I turned to acting early on. But it's very exciting to come back to it, especially on this project.
You say you're coming back to it, but you're doing the two roles now. You're right. So how difficult is that lift?
Well, I mean, while you're directing, you're just directing.
Yeah.
And while you're acting, you're just acting. And early on, I realized it's very hard to go back and forth between the two. It's like going between labor and management.
Yeah.
But this is an exhilarating experience. It's not something I planned or was ambitious to do or expected to do. But this wonderful piece of material came my way from Douglas McGrath, a solo show for him to perform. He'd written it himself. I had done my own solo show about 10 years ago, and it's because of that he lured me back into directing.
Wow.
I was preparing myself how to say no to this man, and then I read the material, and it just jumped up.
Yeah, because you say the way you kind of pick what projects you want to do, you have to have two things: good writing and good people. So tell us about what audience members will get when they go to see you and Everything's Fine.
Good writing and a wonderful person.
I set you right up for that.
I mean, he's a very kind of urbane New York wit. But the remarkable thing is he grew up in Midland, Texas. And this is a reminiscence of his 14th year when he's in 8th grade, and an extraordinary thing that happened that became a formative story of his life.
And when we introduced you here, we talked about just the range of characters you've played. And we talked to so many actors on the show who end up sticking in one lane because they fit the role of being a bad guy, or they fit the role of being some kind of rom-com lead. But you have such a range. But do you have a preferred type of role? Do you think you fit into it? Like, I'm better at that kind of a thing.
Well, that's for other people to say. But always my hope and aspiration is to do something as different as possible from what I just did, just surprise people.
That's the serial killer.
And that includes jumping out of the actor's chair and jumping into the director's chair.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being with us, John. We appreciate it. It's lovely to have you here in studio. I want to tell everybody Everything's Fine begins performances September 28th at the DR2 Theater in New York City. Did I say that right?
It's 99 seats, so it's this wonderful, intimate storytelling experience.
That is so. Congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations on all of your wild success and different genres. We appreciate it. And you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.